Hello, beautiful souls. How y'all doing? Welcome to Brainy Twin Gemini. If you're new, welcome. We'd love for you to be part of our soul tribe and our loving vibe. If you're an existing sub, thank you so much for all your love, your likes, your comments, a sense of community on our channel, the family. It's beautiful, wonderful, and it warms my heart to the bottom of my heart. And I appreciate and care for you all so very much. So you may be wondering, why do I have a picture here with some numbers written down? Well, recently, a little bird, no pun intended, came to me and told me, likely the swans that came to me on Saturday morning, that there's someone desecrating my name on the internet. Normally, I don't care because I just pray for the souls of the trolls. Though that's, you know, they're ego-based, they're lost in their own false sense of themselves and labels. But the reason why I have these pieces of paper today is I've been on a journey, life it's called, and many strange things have happened to me along the course of the path of my life. And very early on, this is my father, in life, I was an atheist. I didn't believe in anything but science, and I think God humbled me very quickly to let me know that there's more out there in the universe than what science can merely explain. So why these numbers here? So I'll give you a message after I go through just a little bit of a timeline, how and my twin and I got together, why, what, when, where's, but I want to go over these numbers first. So in 2014, it was Christmas time, and our family celebrates Christmas. That's the birth of Jesus Christ, and this is not about religion. It's whatever you believe in. And that's one thing my grandmother always said. It doesn't matter what you believe as long as you believe in something. So those are very powerful words. But anyways, nonetheless, it was December of 2014. The previous year, my mother had purchased a photo album. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to go pull some family pictures out of us celebrating, like a timeline of our gatherings at that time at Christmas, throughout the years, and just put it in this photo book that she gave to me and just lay it on the nightstand. So when I went upstairs, and I lived in this house for 12 years, and I went and I had a spare bedroom, and I went through these boxes of pictures numerous times. When I grabbed the pictures, but when I went to bring the leftover pictures, there was these two pieces of paper on the floor, and I never noticed them before in my entire life. And at this point, my father had been gone for 14 years. He died in the year 2000. I think if you listen to my videos, it was January 20th of 2000. So I picked up these papers, and I immediately thought that I was going to win the lottery. And it's my father's handwriting. This here, I have the other piece. It's in my journal, but it has my name here, and I don't care if you know my name. My name is Jennifer. And it says, if I bring it up more closely, it's old, right? It says 7.5, 8. So this was in December of 2014. Now, why is it 7.5, 8 there? That's my shoe size. And he always used to buy me shoes for Christmas. But nonetheless, down here there's a number, and I'll bring it up closer for you to see. And it says 2373727. Okay, and that's that piece of paper. And then on this piece of paper here, if you look very closely, there's numbers that say, believe 1948, and then over here again 723. So didn't think anything of it. This is my grandmother's. My grandmother visited Winnipeg before she passed over to the other side. That's her birthplace. So anyways, I found these, was happier than a pig in shit, running up and down, I'm gonna win the lottery, I'm gonna win the lottery. I knew it was my father's writing. I knew this was for my grandmother. That's my father's mom, because she did go to Winnipeg, and I believe Winnipeg was on the back of this. And so I'm like, okay, crazy. So I just put it on my wall. I never gave it a second thought. Started playing these numbers, and that was that. Well, later in December, my mother started complaining about headaches. And they were fairly bad. So this is 2014, and this was after I found these pieces of paper. And we just thought it was a flu. She was a very robust, healthy woman, never had any issues, but these headaches were getting progressively worse throughout the month of December. And then at the end of December, we had to rush her to the hospital. And we later found out that she had multiple brain tumors and she had terminal cancer. So obviously was focused on caregiving for my mother. And, you know, this was in January when she got her official diagnosis. So she, you know, had a very courageous battle, and she ended up dying in July of 2015. But the day that she died was July the 23rd. Now, I wish I had that. I should have gotten that out of the Bible that I have her, you know, her obituary in, because I know there's a lot of naysayers out there. But if you look at these numbers, it's 23/7, and that's July the 23rd, and again July 23rd, 777, and it was about 7.5 months, 8 months after I found this piece of paper. So science can't explain this. There is no coincidences in life. There's so many things. And again, my grandmother as well, 7/23, 1948 was the year that my mother was born. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an inclination about some of the things that have happened to me on my journey of life. And much of this stuff I don't ask for. It comes to me. It's the truth. And that's the reason why I endeavored this journey, this channel, to bring the truth. I journal much of my stuff down in journals, and yeah, so, and there's no really real reason for me not to be truthful. This is my sacred energy, my thoughts, everything that comes to me, and I just wanted to give that little bit of a wow factor. I know it's going to give you some of you some chills. Going to remove my father out of the picture now, and I just kind of want to go and clarify some things about my twin flame journey in particular, because I know there's a lot of naysayers out there. They say it's a brainwashing, it's obsessive, it's this, people are insane, all sorts of shenanigans. And again, I don't pay attention to these trolls because they're lost in their own false sense of themselves, and they're not awakened. And it's just, I always say pray for the souls of the trolls, and I truly, truly, truly will. But I just want to give some clarification. As I said, this little bird came to me. It was likely the swans that brought me the truth of this person desecrating my character personally. That's just one example of some of the beautiful, beautiful messages that I get. And my father, you know, obviously was gone for 14 years. So he was delivering a very urgent message with those pieces of paper, which I didn't know until the day my mother died, and that's when I pulled the pieces of paper out of my wallet and said, I cannot believe this. Like, July 23rd, like, what are the chances? So anyway, back to the twin flame journey. Now, I will admit that there's a lot of people out there that are monopolizing, and I've always said this, and this is why I came out, monopolizing off the vulnerability of others. And yes, there are some healthy obsessions out there. But like, what I firmly believe is, you know, I was blessed. This is a gift. I was blessed with this beautiful, beautiful soul. He came into my life right at the perfect moment in time. And it brought me to all sorts of wonderful, beautiful, I guess, revelations about oneself, about the world that we're living in, all sorts of beautiful truths. And again, these truths, I never looked for it. They've always fell upon my lap. And one thing I really do want to speak about is some crazy things that did happen with my twin and I. And again, never asked for this, just fell upon me. I was living my life as a finance professional. I have a team that reports into me, and just live my life. And I love what I do. And, you know, I'm a mentor to many people, and they look up to me. And yeah, I was just living my life, living la vida loca, so to speak. And I think it was, you know, it was about after I met my twin, it was in March of 29, and then we parted ways in May of 2019. So 2 months of this beautiful, spectacular love. And then we just went on our separate ways. It wasn't anything vicious or malicious. It was just, we weren't emotionally ready to have that, I guess, that connection in the physical. So we went our separate ways. I was doing my own thing, but I was forced into this incredible awakening, and I had this self-awareness, and I was just awakened. And I think it was June 25th in 2019, and everybody, my coworkers knew. I shared this stuff with them, what I was going through, and it was very perplexing. I couldn't understand it. And for many of you that have awakened or going through the awakening process, you do feel like you're insane. I'll get to that. So it was June 25th. It was a Tuesday, and I left work, and it was raining. And I'll never forget this. I could hear my twin. And it's not hearing voices, believe me. I'm very sane. So I heard this voice, and I had about a 40-minute commute, and it was raining, and I have to go on a fairly busy highway. And I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I get and I could feel the energy of my twin and suicidal thoughts. And I was literally in like panic and anxiety and saying, please don't do this. Please don't do this. So I tried to get home. I was a bit of a wreck on the highway because these are things that I've never experienced before in my entire existence. Get home, run upstairs, start meditating and grounding this very bad energy and just putting out unconditional love and trying to stop this energy and or the suicidal thoughts that my twin was facing. And so at that moment I had an out-of-body experience because I was deeply meditating. This can all be explained this is real stuff. I'll get to that. So this happened on a Tuesday, like I said, June 25th. It was raining. I never said anything to my twin, but I brought it up to him last year because I have everything documented in my journal. And I was going through my journals, and I stumbled across that. And I said to him, I'm like, did you ever feel like suicidal? This is when we weren't together in physical. And he said, yes, actually, I had a really bad moment in June, and he said it was a Tuesday and it was raining, and I showed that to him in my journal. So if you don't believe, that's on you. I never, as I said, I'm merely just a messenger. These truths come to me. All I want to do is bring you to the truth. I've always said, I don't predict the future. I don't necessarily believe in psychics. I believe there's visionaries. I believe there's prophecies or prophets, but I don't, whenever there's any monetization attached to it, I would be a little bit skeptical. So that is just a couple of examples of many, many things that have happened. People can vouch for some of the very strange things that have happened. I did a video on Easter Sunday outside by a river, and there was a shadow in the river of a human being. It wasn't my shadow. I was talking about Jesus, and that shadow appeared in the water. There's so many unexplainable things that have happened in the course of my life. Another very bizarre thing that happened was I came to realize later when I checked the video recording, and I can certainly show you it's date stamped. There's no manipulation there. I did put it on YouTube, but they took it down. Likely because it was, it was stuff that was circulating around the internet at that time. They were taking all this stuff down. But I came out with it after, I put the recording on, and it was about March of 2020. But the actual recording date was January the 11th, which is 111. And I kept the recording because I was speaking to somebody in Australia, and Solstice, if you're listening to this video, I would love nothing more that you could vouch for this, but if you can't, you're not, obviously it's not the right time for you. But it was on January the 11th. I sent her a message saying something was happening in the world, something very devastating, and something truly bad was coming upon us. And I don't want to get into the logistics of it, but it was a virus called COVID. And it came, and it was prevalent on our continent in March of 2020. And I do have that recording. So I did place it on YouTube and they immediately took it down. So again, I believe that there's people out there that have visions, have prophecies. I know, I kind of know where our path is headed. But again, I won't give that information because it's not up for me to give that information. I do know that right now we're in the midst of a spiritual war. And, I truly believe that my twin and I came together for a reason. And that we're meant to spread and raise the vibration of the world and spread unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. Because there are people who attach themselves to all these false labels and all of this ego, and I'm speaking with ego right now. Ego death, you don't truly get rid of your ego. What happens when you get into an ego death is you actually you bury who you were before, and you come into who you're meant to be in the moment of the precious moment of now. But there is a lot of ego, and there's a lot of people attaching themselves to labels, and that's not the way our world should be. We should navigate our world as forgiving and loving, and that is my mission, and that's all I want for you beautiful, beautiful souls, is to see the beauty of yourself, to love yourself. And as I always said, once you get to that point of self-love, that's when the magic appears in your life, because you have a sense of love for oneself. I want to get back to this out-of-body experience that happened in June of 2019. Again, I didn't know what was going on. It was all happening so quickly. I'm feeling like, energy from a twin. I thought this was all bizarre. At the moment, I thought I was insane. Okay? So this parasite, this troll that's going around calling, new agers insane. Well, we don't want to talk about that ego, and we don't want to talk about that label, and we don't want to talk about what side they're on in the spiritual war. I do not want to talk about that. So I was trying to explain to a very, very good friend of mine what was going on, and they were struggling. So ironically, in July of 2019, a report landed on my lap. And again, was not looking for it. The truth always has its way of finding me. And it was the CIA gateway theory. And what that is it describes certain aspects of the brain, certain hemispheres of the brain, that once stimulated, you can have out-of-body experiences. You can do all sorts of amazing, wonderful things. So the CIA, it was a classified document. It got out, but there was one page missing, and that was page 25. So if you get your hands on the document, you'll notice that page 25 is missing from that document. I have page 25. Page 25 made its way to me. Again, not looking for it. It just landed on my lap. And what 25 is astral projection. So you can go outside of your body. Why did they take that out? I don't know. Maybe they just did not want humans to know, or they just felt humans weren't ready to know. So when I grabbed this report, I gave it to my coworkers, and I showed them, and they asked me, and just jokingly, they said, "Did you write this?" Because word for word, I explained everything in that report. I was trying to get people to see, or actually maybe I was, trying to have myself see that I wasn't insane, because of all of these strange things that were occurring in my life. And when this gateway theory landed on my lap, it was like, oh, thank you, God. I'm not insane. So what I said to my coworkers jokingly, I said, I'm the sane one. You are all insane. So, and it was just, 20 years of investigations of real life events that people have gone through. And I feel like all of us spiritually awakened people are meant to awaken other people. And because our world is in crisis right now, it truly, truly is. And, you know, if you can't see it, then you're obviously sleeping or you're blind. You know, there is huge crisis going on in our world right now. So those are a couple of things that have happened. Many, I've said this so many times, I could go on for hours and hours and hours about this. And, you know, if you're wanting, go read Gateway, you know, Gateway Theory. And if you're looking for page 25, send me an email. I'll give you page 25. But I just wanted to give you like, this is like a candid moment of, you know, Brainy Twin Gemini or Jen or however you resonate with me, on what my journey is about. I'm not here to take your money. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm merely just a messenger. Is there a lot of healthy obsessions out there? Absolutely. And even myself, when I was going through this journey way back when, if you've been following me for, you know, how many years, I said it was a brainwash. I said I wanted to burn my cards. But the one thing I always kept in my heart was my faith. And I just knew that this person came into my life for a reason. And I never gave up, and I never lost hope. And we came together beautifully. And when we came together after being apart, the first conversation we had, he mentioned twins. So the information came to us somehow. And, you know, if there's naysayers out there, or there's people that, you know, got caught in their own black hole of their dark soul, then that's on them. And they got brainwashed, that's on them. We've all been given the gift of free will. So you can listen or not listen. And maybe, you know what, sadly, it wasn't. You know, maybe you got caught in the vortex, in the black hole, in the rabbit hole, because you can. You know, when I met this beautiful soul, I did not know. I was married for 20 years. I loved my ex-husband dearly. And I thought, wow, he's my soulmate. But then when I met this other individual, there was something very, very different about this love. Maybe, you know, there are some people that get caught up on it. But if this is truly your journey, you awaken, you heal yourself, and you are and you are meant to raise the vibration of the world that we live in. You know, we are, I don't want to say this, please don't take it the wrong way, but I feel like we're disciples, like we're meant to change the way of the world. You know, this particular individual speaks about new age, new agers, and how, you know, they're mental, they're insane. Well, we live in a new era. We live in the year 2022. It's called the new millennium. So maybe there has to be some adoption of different ways of thinking in terms of spirituality. And new agers believe in God, but they also respect the fact that other people have other religions. And all these religions point to one higher power. So it's about being new in the age that we're living in. So don't let these parasites, these trolls, disrupt what you feel within your soul. Your soul is your guide, and it will take you to the place that you're meant to go. Unhealthy obsessions are not good for you. And I just knew personally that there was something far deeper than words could ever explain with my twin. And I knew that, you know, everything led me to the truth. Revelations, you know, in there about the 144, you know, so many things, Aristotle, and it just, this stuff landed on my lap. Maybe because I am so fact-based, and maybe, you know, I've had a hard time and I struggled with this concept. I truly, truly did. And I don't even know where it came from, where it stemmed from, how, what, why, and maybe it will come to me when it is meant to come to me. But again, if you feel, you know, that I'm not being truthful or whatever, I'm not here to prove to you that I'm truthful, because I don't need to prove anything to anyone except to oneself. Everything I do with a loving heart. And I'm meant to guide you to the truth of oneself with love and truth. And, you know, I truly, truly pray for this individual soul, and going out and desecrating people that have the best intentions in their heart. So, again, very candid moment with you, all of you beautiful souls. I deeply care for you all so much. I do what I do for you. I don't do it for me. I don't ask for anything in return. I get up each day, you know, I give you messages primarily to help you heal, you know, and to help you understand if this is truly your journey. It's not narcissistic, even though it seems narcissistic. If you're on a pathway to healing, and you're on a pathway to a better you, and disseminating the ego and getting rid of this false layers and these false labels that society puts on us, then good for you, because you're awakening, and you're meant to awaken the people in this world. One of the most enlightened souls of this world was Jesus Christ. He was extremely enlightened, and he walked the path of unconditional love, no judgments, complete forgiveness. And that's what we're meant to do. Now, you may have your own mentor. Jesus is mine. And that's, I'm not a, you know, sitting here preaching about religion. That we all have our mentors, and he's my mentor because of the path that he walked, and the love that he had in his heart. And that's exactly the way I want to walk my footprints on this earth. So that's what I have for you. I'm, you know, sorry about that. I just had to be candid. I flipped these cards before this candid message for you, and here they are, all are, and it's overall energy again, number 53, Magician in the mirror. You know, just this particular message is just look in the mirror. Your mirror soul of each other. If this is truly a beautiful soul, you mirror each other. It's magic. There is such a thing as magic, and let me just talk about that right now. Like this is not a coincidence, okay? There is magic and beauty in the earth that we live in if you believe, and just believe and trust in your heart. You know, I always say that nobody can take that magic, that love, and out of your soul and out of your heart. So just believe in the magic, and just have patience. You know, patience and faith and trust. It'll come when it's meant to come, if it's meant to come. I have this song by Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. Once you get to the beautiful version of yourself, you realize that you don't need that twin in your life anymore in physical embodiment. That's when you know you've completed not completed the journey, but you're at the end of the journey. You no longer need that fulfillment in your life to have fulfillment in your life, if that makes any sense. So it's beautiful. And I have crown, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. Crown is at the top of your head. And we're energy. This is energy. Like, light is energy. We're energy. 2 crows just passed by. We're energy. And, you know, the crown, I feel with just, you know, number 41, it is the top of the head, and it governs the upper brain. And when developed, it brings us knowledge, wisdom, understanding, spiritual connection, and bliss. And I feel like a lot of you are coming to your truths, your spiritual connection, your spiritual awareness, and you're coming into that bliss of oneself, and it's beautiful, and I love it very much. And this couldn't be further from the truth as I say this right now. Adjacent possibilities. There's all sorts of doors. You know, which door are you going to get? Which door are you going to close? Because for every door that closes, another one opens. You know, and I don't know if you're getting caught in some of this shenanigans that's out there. Because there is a lot of shenanigans out there. That's why I embarked on this journey. You know, and to desecrate someone's character that truly has love for souls and healing it's truly, truly just heartening. Like, it just breaks my heart. It truly does. So who are you listening to? What are you listening to? Believe in the magic of you. You know, science is not the ruler of this world. It's not. And I was humbled very quickly to learn that it wasn't. And as I said, I could go on for hours and hours and hours about divine God, and the messages that have been brought to me, and just close those doors. If people aren't, no one can get you back together with your twin. I'm sorry. They can't. There's no such thing as, oh, you know, pay all this money and I'll get you back. There's only one divine power that can do that. That's you and your will. And I don't need to tell you the other. Please save your money and just work on being the best version of you, and just walk the path of unconditional love. And then you will see the magic. The magic will occur. I was the biggest skeptic in life, and I was humbled very quickly in my life because I didn't believe. And then I had all sorts of things happen, and then this beautiful being came into my life, and it was no coincidence. And we are in the most beautiful, wonderful element of our life. And on another note, this parasite says that people that, New Agers and this and that are homeless, and all sorts of ludicrous, verbiage. I own my own home. I've owned my own home for a long time. I have a very successful job. I don't feel like I need to defend my character, but if you feel skeptical of me, then just unsubscribe. Nobody's tying you to a chair and forcing you to listen. I'm merely just a healer on the journey of life. Want to heal as many people. If one person listens, great. If no one listens, at least I know I came out with the right intention. So I'm just going to give you one beautiful message to take today. I'm going to ask for one card, please. Two hearts merge through an explosion of love. United, they create unlimited wealth. Together, they fulfill their dreams. And that's exactly it. Two hearts merge as one, and together they fulfill their dreams. And united, they create unlimited wealth. It's no coincidence that you come together if this is truly your blessed soul. And I don't care what anyone freaking says out there. This is the real deal, man. And we are meant to raise a high vibration, and just extinguish the parasites of life. So that's all I have for you today, beautiful folks. Again, thank you for allowing me to be candid, and I'm always here if you have any questions. Have a super day, folks.